Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Build Some Ships. This is episode 7. Today we're going to be finishing off at least 2 of these frigates. I'm going to start, I think, with the missile, and then I'll go to the fighter defense ship. I think I've decided on them too. We're going to do a missile frigate, a fighter defense frigate, which will just have a lot of really easy cannons on it. And then we're going to have a capital ship combat vessel that'll be specifically for fighting capital ships, like a, I don't know, like an equivalent would be like an ion cannon frigate, but we won't have that, so we'll have like missiles or some other equally heavy weapons on that. And on this one I'm going to do that ramming vessel we were talking about, and I might do a 5th because I really want a support vessel that's capable of smaller attack ships, like attaching to it, refueling and resupplying, and then taking off again. So we'll see what happens with that. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna do. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna do the missile frigate and the support frigate, and that's what we'll do today. So I'm gonna get started here, and I'll be back with progress. Hopefully, I won't lose the footage this time. All right. So missile frigate, I'm gonna call done because I'm super happy with how this turned out. Except for that, let me get rid of that. There we go, I think that looks better. Alright, so, yeah, like, wow. Actually, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I thought I had this all sorted. Little tiny things like this will bug me if I don't get them right. Alright, so yeah, we got pretty good, I'm gonna say, like, awesome, actually. Missile frigate. I'm actually gonna remove those just because, well, you don't want too many weapons. First of all, they might interfere with each other's firing arcs and stuff. Second of all, you can't control all of them at once anyway, even if they are automatic. Anyway, alright, so yeah, so we're going to stick with 4 automatic missile defense turrets. These are for small crafts, things like that. We have our small defense turrets here on the wings, and we have, let me see, 2, 4, 8, 10 front-facing rocket launchers, reloadable ones, and I love that. That's so cool. The ship handles amazingly. I upgraded the weapon, or the engines, because it wasn't moving like I wanted it to. So I realized that these large thrusters here are only 1 by 2. Yeah, the azimuth large thrusters, whereas normally Space Engineers thrusters are 2 by 3 by 3. No, 2 by 2 by 3. So like you would barely be able to fit 1 in here. Well, you would be able to fit 1, but that's it. So 4 of these is equal to the same as having 1 large regular saw and Space Engineers thruster. So I added booster engines here on the side. Now, anytime you have something, those of you that don't know, every time you have something connected with a connector, these wings count as separate ships for the purposes of maneuverability and like using the mouse to steer and stuff, and for thrusters. So if I were to have these on, every time I thrust forward, they wouldn't work because I'd have to put a control panel here, sit in it, and then only that one would work for me. So it's really weird how that works like that. So I put them there, and you can control them. Basically, thrusters have a always on function, like an override it's called. So if you want to, you can override the controls and just have it at full blast all the time. So what I did on the inside here, I'll show you, is I built it into the pilot seat. You see there, Number 3, if I hit that, I get booster engines. They only take up to a certain amount when you're not moving forward, because your gyroscopes and everything on the main ship is fighting it. So I don't recommend having them on when you're not actually moving. But if you watch, this guy picks up pretty decent, but he kicked those booster engines on and you just fly. And it does use a lot more power to do that, so I don't recommend flying with them on all the time just to get up to speed. So we're just, wow, look at us, we're already at top speed now. Wow. And you can cut them, and then as you can see, boy, the ship stops on a dime too, which is awesome. Gyroscopes are a little bit better. I could tweak them slightly to make them better there, but I think it's fine. I have an extra gyroscope on here too, so you can turn it on and tweak it to your own specifications. Like, you could have this thing be super maneuverable. It was actually too maneuverable. I built it too well. Too much redundancy, I suppose, for gyroscopes and things like that. I even had too many engines on the back. I ended up getting rid of one of the 5. Now I'm just down to 4. But I don't know. I like the thing. I'm happy with how the missile corvette turned out. Let's put it back into position up here, and then we'll take a fight. What the heck am I saying? We'll shoot it a couple times to see how that looks. Oh, that is so cool. This thing would be devastating against almost any ship. The cost to produce rockets and stuff in a survival situation would make this very hard to do. You would need a couple people mining constantly to get the amount of resources necessary. So this would be an expensive frigate, probably going to be the most expensive of all the frigates to produce. So you won't have many of these. I think we might only include one in the end result if we do the death match like I was talking about. But yeah, so I'm going to do the support frigate now, and I'll get back in a little bit and show you guys how that worked. Alright, so I have the support frigate built. Here it is here. It does look pretty simple, but honestly this ship isn't meant for combat. This would go to like the edge of the war zone. Or be at the center and be super protected from all sides by other ships, like the missile, or the fighter screen corvette or frigate, which I'll be building next. But so there's room for 16, no, 12 ships can refuel and restock at once if need be. I don't think you'll ever really need that much. Even some of the other, like the excuse me, I burped there. Even like the heavy corvette and light corvette, the gunship and the small ship the small fighter should all be able to fit on there. I haven't tested, but I'm 100% sure they'll fit. I just don't feel like testing it right now. I'm in a building craze mood, so so this thing handles the same, if not better, than the missile frigate because it doesn't have as much weight. One thing to note while using this ship, if something's connected to it, you're gonna have to stop moving, because either that or the ship that's connected to it has to kill its engines and its gyroscopes, because otherwise this little thing connected will fight with the engines and everything on this ship, and it won't. I haven't had anything break and catastrophically explode or anything, but I haven't tested it at top speeds. I don't know if I'm going to do that either. I'll leave that to you. But as a safety precaution, I would recommend jumping this thing in. Big enough for jump drives. I'll work them in somehow, and then I'll let you guys know how that. Maybe I'll put that mod on that has small jump drives. But anyway, so technically you could even, this could be like a minor carrier. You could have 12 ships on it, and then it would jump into the thing. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is set up all the bells and whistles of the regular one. Booster rockets, already went over that previously. Added a little bit more detail and copied it over to the others because I think these upgrade blocks make great detail blocks if you are running out of ideas. So yeah, I guess I'll give you a quick demonstration of how it moves and stuff, so you can see that. So good pickup, same as the missile frigate, if not faster, because like I said, it weighs less, I believe. Yes, it definitely weighs less. So yeah, I'm already up to top speed. So slows down just as fast, which is awesome. So I'll bring her around here and lay her back in with the other ones. And I actually think this video is short enough that I'm gonna just go ahead and build the next frigate and give you guys a tour of that one. I'm not sure if I want to do a mine layer. I was kicking around the idea while building this one of a ship that has construction capabilities that could lay certain types of mines out the back. I haven't made a decision on that yet. I probably will soon. Oh, excuse me, yawn. Yeah, I'm gonna build. I'll build one next. I'm not sure which one, but so it'll be a surprise, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I come back. All right, cheers. All right, so next frigate ended up I went with an assault frigate. I figured, you know, you need something that's good at attacking capital ships, and I think this is probably gonna fit the bill very nicely. I did some sweet customizations on this thing. I can't wait to show you guys. First of all, back is exactly the same as the rest, so it fits with the the support frigate here and the missile frigate there. They all look like they belong to the same army. This one's a little bit longer and beefier, and you'll find out why in a minute. So first of all, we have two broadside batteries, one on the left and one on the right, and both of them use the cannons basically in a way that they would track things on this side of the ship, and on the other side we have it mirrored, so we have the same thing. We have a right and left side broadside battery, and these things punch a decent amount of punch, not like a ton, but for ship-to-ship battle it'd be enough to make it look really cool for a while before it started doing a little bit of damage, or before it started doing massive damage. So you'd be able to take two of these against each other, and just if you only ran them like there's other weapons on the ship. If you only ran them next to each other, you'd have a decent amount, maybe like a 2 or 3 minute battle. Especially if you were controlling them yourself and not letting the AI do it, because AI is a little unfair when it aims. But as you see, we got some reverse thrust here on the side built into those. I added some more of those enhancement modules and a timer block. The timer block's actually useful, and I left it kind of open and exposed like that for a reason, because this ship has a massive hidden, semi-hidden, protected battery of massive cannons in the front. These things are like, will do a lot of damage. Basically, I wanted an ion cannon frigate, but I can't find any kind of mod or anything that really adds ion cannons the way that I'm used to them. So what this does is, these are I can't remember what they're called. Let me check real quick just so I know what the names of these are. So this is the MWI static cannon, 150 millimeter cannon. It's crazy ridiculous. And then I have the sides are made up of the dual light cannon turrets, which I believe there's one on the heavy Corvette. But yeah, there's 6 of them on this. And then we have a weapon up top too, and that one is the, let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, the dual large ship cannon turret. That doesn't, I set it so the AI doesn't control that one, because it does do a decent amount of damage, I want to force people to choose. I think it's more fair for combat. I'm trying to balance this as well slightly for PvP combat if I do decide to do it, which I plan to. So yeah, so you have this main cannon here that fires. You have this cannon up top. This was the one I was talking about that's not set up to auto track. This will have to be controlled to be fired. And the front, of course, has to be aimed properly to be fired. That's why I added a camera up here for the gunner, so that he could check and make sure he's lined up properly before he fires it. So let's go back here, and I'll show you some of the functionals of the gun. So if we come into the cockpit here, first of all, I'll close the launch tubes. Turn off the HUD there so you can see it more. There you go, that's closed. And okay, if you hit 8, it'll cycle the gun and fire it once. And I'll show you what that does. Hopefully the lights will go off in the proper way. Sometimes they glitch a little bit. And here we go. So they open. Lights. Lights didn't show up, but man, is that thing loud, right? Let's see if I can do it again to show you. I made it so you can't fire these from the inside. You'd have to go into the computer to cycle and fire them more. Just because of how powerful it is. It hit 8 again. There you go. I don't know what's wrong with the lights. They should be working properly. I have them set up. It looked really cool. Man, this is bugging me. Let's try it again. Maybe I have to have the overlay on? Yeah, that's what it is. It's weird. Lights are glitched with that. So as you can see, when you have the overlay on, it's hard to even show it like that. Here we go. There's a good view, I guess. So you hit 8, the pods open, the lights sequence, and as they reach the end, they fire. So I wanted it to look like it's charging up power and releasing it. I don't know if I accomplished it very well, but it looks cool regardless. So that was cool. And that's about it on the assault frigate here. Let me show you how she picks up and stuff. And yeah. Once again, using the boosters to pick up more speed quicker. It was bad. The first time I built this, I forgot to change the ownership to me. So as soon as I did, it all my other ships started firing at it. So I had to hurry, like, exit out of the game and you know, come back in, and it was okay. But never make that mistake when you're building a lot of ships next to each other. Always make sure to turn their ownership to you so they don't fire at it. So happy with how this is all turning out. Yeah, the gyroscopes make it kind of more, you know, more maneuverable, but not super maneuverable like some of the other ships are. So I think that's fitting. So what I'm going to do next is I think I'm going to stop this video here. There's one more frigate I have in mind to make, and it's a mine layer, and I have an idea for it. I kind of want to make it a drone layer instead of just a mine layer. Like, have it have a mine layer on it, but have it like also be like a drone ship that can go to an area, drop a bunch of drones that'll auto track enemy ships and like blast them and stuff. So we'll I'll take a, you know what, this video, I don't know how long it's getting, but I think I'll make it a little bit longer. You know what, no, this is I'm going to split it up, and the last one I'll do will be the mine layer, and it'll be its own video. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with friends if you think they'd be interested in this sort of thing. spread the word that I'm getting multiplayer like fighting mode for this deathmatch. So if people want to buy the game within the next couple months, maybe another month from now, I'll have all that finished, and you could start playing with me or other people. And next video will be a mine laying frigate, and make sure to comment below what you're thinking about these ships, and if you want to get involved with Space Engineers, just ask me about it. It's on Steam. You could pick it up on there, and when I get the deathmatch finished, we could all play together. Then that'd be pretty sweet. Alright, so have a good day.